It began with a sound, a low hum like wind moving through a tunnel, except there were no tunnels near Hollow Creek, just endless forest and a river that always seemed to whisper, even when still. Daniel Carter first heard it while doing what he always did after work, fishing by the creek until sunset. It was late October, the kind of evening when the air feels too still, and even the birds refuse to sing. He thought it was just the wind until it began mimicking him. When he coughed, it coughed back. When he muttered, "Guess that's enough for today," a faint voice carried by the water whispered, "Enough for today." He froze. The sound wasn't echoing. It was answering. Daniel returned the next day, determined to prove it was in his head. He brought his phone to record. The creek ran quietly under the gray sky, and for an hour nothing happened. Then came the hum again, deeper this time, vibrating the ground beneath him. The water seemed to ripple against the current, forming strange patterns, spirals that opened like mouths. He hit record. "Is someone there?" he said, trying to keep his voice steady. The air turned cold. The trees seemed to lean closer, and from beneath the water came a clear reply. "You shouldn't have come back." Daniel stumbled backward, tripped, and dropped his phone into the creek. When he reached in to grab it, something grabbed him, not a rock, not debris, a hand. Cold and slick, it clamped around his wrist with impossible strength. He yanked back and ran all the way home, clutching his wrist, which now bore dark finger-shaped bruises. Over the next week, Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept hearing faint dripping sounds in his house, even though every faucet was closed. When he closed his eyes, he dreamed of the creek of faces beneath the water, mouthing his name. He went back only once more, dragging his friend Mike with him, hoping someone else would see what he saw. Mike laughed it off until they reached the creek at dusk. "See? Just water," Mike said, tossing a stone. It skipped once, twice, then stopped in midair. Both men stared as the stone hung over the water like it was being held by invisible fingers, then dropped straight down. Mike cursed and backed away. "Man, let's go." "That's not right," Daniel, though terrified, felt a pull like something was calling to him. The hum began again, louder now. "Daniel, stay." The creek started to bubble, and from the depths, faces began to surface, pale, distorted, eyes open wide but lifeless. "Run!" Mike shouted, grabbing him. They sprinted through the woods, not stopping until they saw the town lights. But when they looked back, Daniel noticed something that froze his blood. The water wasn't following them. It was standing still, completely still, like it was waiting. Mike refused to talk about that night again. Daniel tried to forget, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something from the creek had followed him. At night, he'd hear dripping in his kitchen. Once, he found muddy footprints leading from his back door to his bedroom, but no one else lived with him. Then one morning, the neighbors noticed his door was wide open. Daniel was gone. No signs of struggle, no blood, no note. Only one thing out of place: a wet trail leading out the back door and stopping at the edge of Hollow Creek. The police drained part of the creek. They found his phone. On it was one last video, shaky footage of the water, his voice trembling. "It wants me to come closer. It says I'm already part of it." Then came the whisper, clear as day. "We are all part of it now." And the camera fell into the water. Months passed. The investigation went cold. Then early spring, the town decided to build a new bridge over Hollow Creek. The construction crew drained part of the riverbed, and what they found made national news. Hundreds of bones layered beneath the silt. Some were ancient, but others were disturbingly fresh. And when the workers tried to take photos, every camera failed. Only one image survived, a blurry shot of the exposed creek bed, showing what looked like faces pressed up against the mud, mouths open in silent screams. That night, the foreman quit and left town. He told reporters one last thing before he left. "When we were down there, I swear I heard something whisper my name, and it sounded just like me."